Hi everyone, my name is Davey and I'm on my 9th class here in the OMSCS. I picked the human computer interaction specialisation, crawling towards the finish line now, nearly there. Today I want to talk about a critical challenge facing our digital world, the infodemic, and how we can design technology to help us think better. Let's start with the problem. We live in an age of information overload and widespread misinformation. The World Health Organization popularised the term infodemic during the pandemic, but I argue it's a chronic condition. Our digital tools, while seemingly helpful, often prioritise constant engagement over thoughtful interaction, and this can actually degrade our ability to process information effectively. The current reactive approaches like fact-checking or simply addressing symptoms. To understand this, we need to understand distributed cognition. This theory states that our cognitive processes aren't just in our heads, they're spread across our environment and the tools we use, our smartphones, social media feeds, search engines. The problem is these external components are often designed to keep us scrolling and clicking, not to foster deep thinking. Think about infinite scrolling, pervasive notifications, or dark patterns that nudge us. When our digital environment is designed for continuous distracted engagement, the performance of our entire human artifact cognitive system degrades. This makes us highly vulnerable to overload manipulation, eroding public trust and increasing polarization. My research design grew from building the infodemic fighter extension, which highlighted the practical need for academic grounding. The literature review was systematic, starting with class readings and the mind-to-machine specialization, the expanding into Google Scholar and citation snowballing. I selected sources based on credibility, author qualifications, and citation counts. Thankfully, there were no major pivots. My research, drawn from cognitive science, reveals a predictable cognitive degradation cascade. It starts with information overload. Consider cognitive load theory. We have limited mental capacity. Digital interfaces often create immense extraneous load. Thinking, cluttered screens, or constant alerts. This eats up our mental energy without helping us understand. It leaves us very little room for gourmet load, which is the valuable effort needed for critical thought and committing information to long-term memory. This constant cognitive strain leads to decision fatigue. When our mental resources are drained, we become impulsive and prone to making suboptimal choices. Digital platforms exuberate this with choice overload, paralyzing us with too many options. This opens the door to misinformation, which often offers deceptively simple answers to complex problems. Psychologically, Kahneman's dual process theory is key here. We often default to quick intuitive system when thinking instead of engaging our slower analytical system too. This makes us vulnerable. Add to this the illusory truth effect, where repeated exposure to makes false information feel true due to process fluency and the powerful role of emotion. So, if reactive fact-checking isn't enough, what's the solution? My paper argues for a paradigm shift, from reactive content moderation to the proactive design of cognitively supported systems. This is where the CRbD framework comes in. Our goal isn't just to mitigate misinformation, it's to redesign our digital environments to augment human intellect, fostering a more curious and reflective citizenry. The CRbD is grounded in principles from cognitive science and human-centered AI, emphasizing that technology should augment, not replace human skills, offer transparency and explainability, and always ensure human control and oversight. The CRbD framework integrates 4 key architectural components, each designed to interrupt the cognitive cascade of failure. Adaptive information presentation reduces extraneous cognitive load through things like clustered news and progressive disclosure, turning a chaotic fire hose into a navigable library. Deliberation, promoting nudges and frictions, strategically slows users down to encourage System 2 thinking. Think of prompts like, have you read this article before sharing? Or slight delays before share button activities. Explainable AI for context and literacy acts as a metacognitive mirror. Instead of just flagging content as false, it explains why it might be problematic. For example, highlighting a false dichotomy in the text, teaching users how to identify manipulative techniques themselves. Finally, effect-aware interventions use sentiment analysis to detect emotionally charged content and then deploy emotion regulation nudges, helping users shift from reactive to deliberative thought. In conclusion, the digital age has inadvertently created an information environment that's hostile to human cognition. This infodemic is fundamentally a crisis of cognitive ergonomics that reactive content moderation alone can't solve. The CRbD framework offers a holistic human-centered response. It's a blueprint for designing systems that proactively augment human intellect, fostering a more curious, reflective, and empowered citizenry.